So which basically talks about characteristics of all Panch Parameshti and all that.
Right. That was the main thing
Okay.
in that one. Yeah. And then the other big thing was the Vaktaka Swarup or Shrotaka Swarup, which pertains to us.
That must be part of this chapter itself, right? First chapter?
First
Chapter
chapter,
1.
Chapter 1.
Okay. So we basically need a summary, like we always do, for these two
Right.
chapters, right?
Right. And the main purpose, of course, of doing the summary is to again reread it. The more we read, the more it sits with us.
Exactly.
And see, one read right after the class, at least then reaffirms, because if you read it after a month or so, then
it's
what you heard in class is not retained.
yeah, I'm realizing that. So,
The chapter 2 is very interesting. So, I was going
Yeah,
through the
very, very
recording.
interesting. And
I
if
thought
you really think of all the applications in our daily life, really is very good.
and I liked how they described the karm, saying that karm has its own paryaya, right? And it's a
Exactly.
nimit for us, and we are like both are nimit naimatik sambandh. They've explained it
Both are
very well.
in Nimit Pari. Yes.
And
Okay,
right. So
let's start.
we kind of blame our karm, right?
Yeah. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airiyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam. Jai Jinendra Sabiko. We are at the end of chapter 2, Moksha Marg Prakashak. But let's revise a little bit. So in this chapter, those who have been listening to recordings or studying, can you tell me, or you can even open the book and go through the topics and generally let's quickly regroup what we've been studying. So we studied how each of the karmas affect, right? That's towards the end, and we have one left, Gotra karma. What else is there before that? So we studied that karma is not the only thing that decides everything. It's just a nimit, right?
Correct.
And then what else? Just go through the topics and we'll quickly revise.
So it starts with the way, right? If you meet a physician, they start with the diagnosis. You start with the diagnosis of the karma.
First, if we don't even think that we have any dukkha, right? Because we think, oh, it's okay, life is fine. We get little bit problems here and there. You'll hear people say, generally, my life is okay. Or there's this trend of saying, well, I'm actually always happy, so uh, uh, so then they take out that myth that you may think you're happy, but in reality you are not, and these are the problems you have. And I don't know if I gave you this example. By the way, what page number is, I'm trying to open my PDF also at the same time today. What page?
PDF
Not
page
the
number
book page.
for the chapter
Give me the
2
book
is
page,
page
Amar.
27.
No. We are on page 27 right now?
No, we are not on page
Okay.
27. I thought
What page are we going to be on?
I'll tell you which. Just a second.
So, last page in the chapter is okay. Let me clarify.
We are on page 44 of the PDF. So page 44 out of 317.
Okay, hang on. I'm just getting there. So the मोहनीय के उदय में क्या क्या होता है? Tell me that.
Okay, it obscures the Shraddha and Charitra gun.
And श्रद्धा क्या आता है और चारित्र में क्या आता है?
So
What is
Shraddha is like a mithyatva, delusion, raga, dvesha.
No. See, delusion of what?
Delusion about it will be a false belief. Delusion
False belief
Delusion.
about who am I? That's the key.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? No matter how much even we know now, at least
Yeah.
superficially through reading this, that I'm the soul.
Yeah.
और अच्छे से we have understood and it makes a lot of sense that I'm not this
Yeah.
body or anything related to this body,
Yeah.
which is all my circumstances, all my relations, all my job, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
right? Still, because we have this habit of associating ourselves with whatever the current paryaya we got, that it is so hard to remove that mithyatva.
Yeah.
And now, and the reason for it, or rather, nimitta karan for that is the monia, darshan monia. And charitramonia is the rag and dvesh. The the liking and not liking, this is
Conduct. Yeah.
good, this is bad, or this is somebody else is the reason for my misery. All that is part of
Yeah.
charitramonia.
Yeah. And
Then we also studied about Nigod in this chapter. Itar Nigod and
we studied before that. I think we how the karma bonds like prakriti,
right,
pradesh,
right. How what
titi, anubhaga. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So,
then types of karmas. Yeah.
right. So the purpose of all this is to make us understand, number one, be very, very aware in whatever it is that we are doing, right? Number two, be very aware that, uh, well, first of all, if we are aware, the karma attraction will be less, right? And even if it is there, it will be of lesser intensity.
Yeah.
Then the other advantage is, on the other hand, when things happen to us, then we will realize that it's only me who is responsible, no one else.
Yeah.
Anybody else is only becoming a nimit in my misery. I am the one who bound these karmas in immediate past or way long time ago past. And only I'm the one who is going to have to bear the fruits of it, nobody else. And if I blame other people or circumstances, I'm only getting more karmas. So, this whole proper understanding should make a difference in our life of being a little more sahaj. And what does sahaj means?
Be in yourself. That.
Neutral, which is let
Yeah.
things happen.
Yeah.
Sahaj means just let's watch the flow of things happening. Don't
Knowing.
take the kartapan of it. Because the more we get attached ourselves to doership, the more we are bothered. And the more we let things happen and be the observer. So now it's like we know this whole process, what's happening, right? The karmas, we bonded these karmas a long time ago, which is something I cannot do anything about, except now what can you do about those karmas that are already there? We studied that also.
Yeah, when it comes into Uday, right, our bhav would actually determine, right, the intensity of that Uday.
Right. I mean, even though there are I mean, I wanted to get what did we study that helps understand that there is still something we can do about those karmas that are already in the sattva.
There we
Bhav,
need to learn about the dravya karma, bhava karma, and no karma. That's how the cycle is.
That
So
is the cycle. Now the karma is already there in our soul.
yeah,
Okay. Is there anything we can do to
we
help reduce the effect and all that?
yeah, so basically understand the difference between self and per and swa, right? Once we start doing that, right, our
Mhm.
passions will decrease, right, and
Right.
uh, we will not have bhav karma, right? Basically, the rag dvesh, right, will lessen down, right? Once
Right. And
once we
that
remove that
how,
mithyatva.
how is it? Remember, we studied what all can be done with the karmas. What are those things?
yeah the states of karmas. There
right.
is Bandha, Satta, Uday, Udira,
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
yes.
put
Karshana,
that in
Upkarshan,
the
Sankraman, Upsham, Nidatti Nikachit. Yeah.
right. And when I post some special notes like that, you can always copy paste it into your personal notes also, because
Yeah.
the WhatsApp
Yeah.
it'll go up. So yes, so those are possible. And who has control of that?
So only myself has control on myself. The karmas
Exactly.
will be keep changing. Yeah.
Karmas are just bichare
Yeah.
pudgal. What can they
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Only my bhav can even make any changes possible or make it come into fruition sooner than it was supposed to or later than
Yeah.
it was supposed to, or change from sata to asata and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
All those, again, my bhav will become nimit in making any of those changes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? So now, so we understand this whole process. So that should make our rag dvesh intensity less, which in turn, and we don't worry about, oh, I'm trying to do sankraman, I'm trying to do dina. No, things will naturally happen. But the end result should be we should get a little more sahaj in our life. They're okay, let things happen. A little less botheration to ourselves. So the other, inside attitude, outside may or may not look as different, but the internal uh, thought processes will should change. Okay, so let's go to Jeev's condition due to rise of Gotra karma.
Yeah.
Okay. Nam karma was a very interesting one too. Remember, there was a lot of things that are decided. What are decided by Nam karma?
Nam karma decides the, the
The body.
transmigration, gati,
Physical attributes of the
and
body.
then the body, health,
The
and
fact that you even get a body is
yeah,
decided by Nam karma,
yeah,
right?
mhm,
Right.
So what body, color,
yeah,
shape,
yeah, yeah,
hair color, I mean, all the details.
everything, yeah,
Then it has 93 prakrutis, and any of these, there are actually Anant prakrutis, the main ones they categorize and tell us. So, uh, so many things are decided by Nam karma. And
and
all
Nama
these
karma is only bound
karmas
only
are the
once.
ones that we can help. So
The
somebody,
idea,
they're very beautiful,
yeah,
right? Now, the fact that somebody will think you are beautiful is because of what is that karma called? Whatever, there is a karma called that gives you fame, right? Because there is no such thing as, in a way, beautiful, right? Somebody overall, generally, people think you're beautiful because you have that ade naam karma. Ade, or it may be something different, okay? Now everybody is telling you you're beautiful. Now you get this man kashai, right? Oh, everybody thinks I'm beautiful, so I must whatever, whatever. What are we doing when we do that?
we are having passions, we bind more karma.
We bind karmas that will give you the opposite in the next life.
Mm, mm,
So you may be beautiful today, but by uh, keep on like having this Tivraman Kashai, a lot of times people get so much ego, pride of something that they're capable of. And remember, we studied art mad. What are the different things that people can be proud of, have ego with?
Jnana mada, rupa mada, I can few
Right.
things. Yeah.
Labh,
Mm,
all those things,
yeah,
right? Maybe we are not proud of our beauty, but then we are proud of how much money we made, or we are proud of what gotra we are in. There
yeah.
are all those eight things, right? But studying this, we should find in within ourselves that maybe outwardly I'm not showing off, but is there a hidden that man kasha in me? Am I thinking that I'm better than others, or uh, look at people inferior? So all those little sukshma bhav we should try to catch. because those are the ones that are giving us the future karmas. So, and usse related Pratmanu Yog mein a lot of stories come. If you are too proud of your beauty, next life you're getting karmas that will make you not beautiful. The opposite, right? ज्ञान का मद है तो आपका ज्ञान का क्षय उपशम कम हो जाएगा. If you disrespect Shastra or Gyani Panditji and things like that, you get Gyanavarniya karma. So, with all this understanding, our life should become very, very number one, neutral, relatively speaking, low passions. And whether good or bad happens, whatever, I mean, it is bound to happen, right? We have karmas, they're going to come into Uday, we will get favorable circumstances, and we will get unfavorable circumstances. It's not going to remain the same all the time. So, in either case, then we don't get as disturbed. So, we accept it. See, even in Lokik life, let's say somebody's blender broke, at home, some whatever, and it's 10 years old. So what do we do? Do we scream why it broke?
Normally, yes. Yeah.
No, I mean, if it's 10, 15 years old and we
Yeah,
already
yeah.
know that they only last these days, these appliances last only 10 years, then we accept it.
Yeah.
What made us accept it?
To understand the temporariness of things around and
The
know
knowledge.
them as they are.
The
Yeah, knowledge.
knowing that the appliances nowadays only last 10 years. When if it broke, I'm okay with it. But if it broke in 2 months or 1 year right after the warranty ended, then what happens? We don't accept it easily.
Yeah.
Why? Because our knowledge says that it should have lasted 10 years or at least 5 or whatever the case may be. So
Yeah.
we are getting the knowledge here, right? It's like we are getting the what do you call that? Whenever we buy new appliances or phone or we get the booklet, what is that called? Instruction booklet or whatever,
Manual.
right? So our
Mhm.
manuals, right? So our shastras are our life manuals.
Mhm.
We are getting knowledge of how things work, what are the time limitations, what are the changes that are possible, what are the changes that are not possible. And this reading these manuals should help us lead our life with more neutrality. So, okay. So let's move to this Gotra Karma. And who wants to read? Amit, you want to read that? Finish that chapter of that little paragraph?
Yeah. Jeev's condition due to rise of Gotra Karm, status determining Karm. Due to rise of Gotra Karm, birth in high or low caste is caused. There, one gets high or low status. Owing to rise of Mo, the soul becomes happy and miserable.
Mhm.
In this way, the state of Jeev is found due to the instrumentality of Aghati Karms. In this way, in this eternal world, the states of soul are caused due to rise of Ghati and Aghati Karmas.
Mhm.
O Bhavya Jeev, O capable soul, you should think your inner heart and see whether it is so only or not. On contemplation, it would appear to be so only. If it is so, then do accept that you are being afflicted since eternity by transmigration form of disease. You should make efforts to destroy it. Such meditation will bring true happiness to you. Thus ends the second chapter describing the mundane state of existence of jivas in this Moksha Marg Prakashak named Sastra.
Hmm. So, first of all, what is Gotra? Okay. Uch Gotra or Nich Gotra mein, in general, whatever is considered status, right? In our life, let's say we feel that being in the Jain Kul is Uch Gotra because this is where we are able to get the knowledge and information about going to moksha. We are able to get the tattva ka sahi swarup and all that, right? Now, in general, in the Hindu system or whatever, maybe Brahman is the Uch Gotra. Again, they're also Brahman because they study, right? They study scriptures and all that. And that's why they are considered Uch. And then, of course, it goes down to Shudra, and depending on what work they were doing and how their life goes. In general, status, again, related to your progress of soul is how we should take it. Not status, because even though, having a lot of money, being a billionaire is also high status, but that's not what is to be considered here, because that is a very temporary status, right? So now again, Gotra is also Agati Karma. But these status producing karma, all these karmas are the ones that are keeping us constantly in this cycle of birth and death. Because you have so many karmas, now usko khapane ke liye aap birth lo. Fir agar if you did not do the purusharth of getting rid of those karmas, then again you take another life. And then this chakkar keeps going on until you realize your soul and be with your soul. And that is why they say that you should think your inner heart and see whether it is, or so you should be contemplating on what am I doing to keep on going through these cycles of birth and death? And what can I do to get out of this chain reaction, right? And they're calling transmigration as a disease. So you should make efforts to destroy it. So again, they're giving you meditation points, right? You sit and contemplate on, what is it that's keeping me in this cycle? What will let me out? And all those things. So what I say is that, see, the eventual goal is, of course, moksha, eternal happiness, right? Eternal unconditional. Even in the process, till we get there, we can experience low stress, more calm, more happiness. And that is what proves, right? Because that's why Dravyani Yoga, the Tattva ka Swarup and all that is something you can experiment with. Now, you cannot experiment with Karnanu Yoga for the most part, उसमें तो rules है, ये इतने राजू है, कर्म के ये types है. There's nothing you can kind of experiment with or like change anything there. Yes, you can change the karmas, but the knowledge stays same, like that. So, but one should experiment. Bhagavan said that just don't agree because only I said so. You understand the knowledge and you experience it yourself to believe it. Even remember, a lot of the Shastras will say from Acharya that I have written through my experience, but you still experiment. And if you think you don't agree, you search for the truth. That's how independent the Jain Dharma is. That it, like you are responsible for everything. There's nobody else doing it for you, in which case you cannot blame anybody else either. So, okay, so thus we ended the Mokshmar Prakashatji. And now let's move on to Chah Dhala.
So, Prabhaji, rest of the book will be in other semesters?
Yes. So we did first 2 chapters in this semester. We have that, if you go to 2025, right? Do we have that in your, Amitji?
Yeah, we have semester 5, we have this.
Right. So again, semester 5, then again, semester 8, 7. Lot of semesters will have this Mokshmar Prakashak.
Semester 5, I think, is chapter 6 and 8.
Oh, before that, I think we will get 3 and 4 also somewhere. probably next semester.
Four also
Yeah.
has
Yeah,
chapters 3 and 4.
fourth semester.
Fourth semester we'll do chapter 3 and 4. Yes. We will read most of the Moksha Prakashak except chapter 5 or something like that. Yeah.
So, Bhaji, there is also one self-study here, Ram Kahani. or something.
Lot of self-study this semester.
Okay.
That's why I'm going to go on vacation and give you guys time for self-study. Because these are big
Yeah, the
books.
Bara Bhavana and yeah.
So Ram Kahani is a interesting book. It's of course Jain Ramayana basically. So most of the story will be very similar to whatever we hear the Hindu story, but there are some differences. And I mean, a lot of people tell me when they read it's just so confusing because iska this and iske father and iska son and too many names and too many places in that book. But don't get too much entangled with it. Just get the gist of it, that what they're trying to teach you. In each so the Jain stories always end in moksha. And technically, that is the true forever happiness, even though we read in novels they lived happily ever after, or whatever people. There is no happily ever after in reality. So most is the only happily ever after. So 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 Ram Kahani is going to talk about all the different characters of Ramayana, and you will be surprised about some of the differences compared to the Hindu Ramayana. So which is okay. I mean, really, it doesn't matter to us whether this happened or that happened. We are here to learn out of those stories. So you can already start that. I mean, maybe the best thing would be, because there are 3 books that are self-study this time.
Yeah.
Ram Kani, which is an easy one, but then Bara Bhavna, and what's the third one? Or is that just these three?
Kala Chakra.
Oh yeah, Kal Chakra also. So yeah,
Kala Chakra,
Kal
Anekanta, and
Chakra and
Satwad.
Bara Bhavna, you want to read thoroughly and come back with questions if you don't understand.
Yeah. And also there's Anekanta and Shadwad.
No, not on this.
But
No, no,
that's not
not in the fourth
self-study.
semester. I'm talking of fourth semester.
Yeah, let's not talk
So
about
in
fourth.
this semester, only two are self-study. Bara
Correct.
Bhavana.
Are you sure? I thought. Wait, let
No,
me
no,
see.
No,
only
no,
2.
no. Yeah. That's Ram Khan. What about Dravya Sangra? Is it
That I will
self-study?
No,
do
it's
in
not
class.
self-study.
That I will do in class. I
There
thought.
are Ram Kahani, Bara Bhavana, and Dravya Sangra are
No,
the other
Dravya Sangra should
3.
not be, I don't think that would be self-study. There is
Okay.
Ramkani self-study, Bara Bhavna self-study, and that's it, those 2. Then
Those 2. Yeah.
Dravya Sangra we will do in class. So why don't you guys start reading Ramkani and Bara Bhavna? What you can do is, whenever I don't take class, you guys could just still open the Zoom, all of you, and read it together if you want to.
Yeah.
Because Bara Bhavna will be very interesting. It's just, we've already done Bara Bhavna, right? In Vitrag Vigyan. Again, we'll do it in Dhala also. So I would like that you guys have read the Bara Bhavna in detail already before we come to Bara Bhavna in Dhala. Dhala also last chapter is Bara Bhavna. So that's probably why they give that to you as self-study, because we're going to somehow cover it in class anyways.
Bara Bhavana only Hindi available, no English.
Yeah, Bara Bhavana and Dravya Sangra only in Hindi.
Okay, let me find out. I think we were trying to make efforts to make an English version, but let me find out. If not, now it's the world of AI. There's all kinds of, it's funny. I took a 3-hour class, AI class in India. So it was so funny. I was on Instagram and there was some ad for 10 rupees. I said, what is there to lose? Let me just do it. Of course, it's supposed
Did
to
you
be.
find it useful?
I think so. I think so. I mean, I'm not in a place where I can try a lot of these things, but they gave a lot of different AI tools which we may all know or not know. So I'll make a list and send it to you guys if you want to try.
Yeah,
And
please
then
send, Prabhaji.
yeah, and then what do you call app does what sort of there was like an introductory thing. Of course, they're trying to sell you the bigger course, 6-month course, which also I paid, just like normally everybody gets sucked into it. So so so, so I paid, but I know I have no need for an AI class, so I paid, thinking these kids in India will kind of use it. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah,
Uh,
all are basically how to use AI. Nobody tells you how
Yeah,
the
the
large
funny
language
thing is
model is to
they
be
have this
created.
course and then they guarantee you job and no, well, anyway, I got sucked into it. I figured it's a small amount to pay. I'll pay it anyway. But anyway, speaking of AI, the reason I'm saying this is like one of the girls in my other class, so she has started, so let's say she'll to my YouTube or whatever, if she didn't attend class, she'll listen. And Amit, I know you've been kind of using AI a lot too. And then she will summarize it and kind of get gist of whatever I've said to again absorb it more and other things she does. So I told her to kind of put it in the group, whatever she does, so other people can take advantage of it. So same way, what I'm saying is, hopefully we have some form of Parabhavna in English. And if we don't, then you guys take turns. I mean, divide pages and do whatever is the best tool, Chat GPT or something yet better translation tool, and translate yourself and get it, you know, kind of put
Yeah,
it to,
yeah, we can do that. I mean,
yeah.
there's nothing to be done. We don't do anything. ChatGPT does
I
everything.
know. And if you want, I will also give you guys the algorithm that we use, the translation team uses to get that Jain Siddhant words in italics and, keep the words and parentheses, meaning and all that stuff.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, we could kind of make a little translation team out of you all. So, so most likely, I think we should have something if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But if not, we'll just kind of do it that way. Okay,
like,
so let's now move on to Chah. And I also have been able to download. So let me open my version and we'll start. Everybody got it on their system, so we don't need to share.
yeah, I have it.
Okay, good. I'm gonna quickly
I
open my.
have it on my phone. It's a big file.
If
I
somebody
can't
wants to
even.
share, if it's convenient today, we can just share then.
Yeah, it's probably
Let's.
better. I mean, either way is fine.
Yeah, I can share.
Okay, fine. Yeah, then go ahead.
I emailed it to myself, but it's about 30 plus megabytes. So
Mm. Okay. Okay, so you're sharing it, Amit. That's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sharing.
Yeah, so let's study. And I think this should be fairly good translation. Okay. We'll start with this Uska Mangla Charan. तीन भवन में सार वीतराग विज्ञानता शिव स्वरूप शिवकार नमो त्रियोग समारिकर. So basically, they're saying that the gist of the three loks, teen bhuvan is the three loks, Swarg, Narak, and Madhyalok, is Vitrag Vigyanta. The science of being non-attached is the gist of all. And that will explain to us that Shiva Swarup means your own original Swarup. And I bow down to it with Triyog means, you know how that Shashtang Namaskar or whatever, using all my one Vachan Kai, I bow down.
Mm.
So somebody can also read the translation if they want to. Go ahead, Arunji, you can read.
In all the three parts of the universe, the entire universe is divided in three parts: upper world, Urdlok, middle lok, Madhyalok, and lower world, Adolok. Upper world is abode of celestial, that is heavenly beings. Middle world is where human beings and subhuman beings, that is the animal and plant kingdom, reside. The lower world is where infernal, hellish beings reside. Sar basically means supreme-most, and Vitrag, passionless.
So in this book,
Uh,
they've put this picture of you churning the buttermilk and getting the butter. So butter is like the sar.
Oh,
And then they've given this book here in form of the sar. Okay. So then they're
Vitrag,
या वित्रा विज्ञानता का मीनिंग बता रहे हैं. Go ahead.
Vijnanata, specific knowledge of omniscience. Shiva Swarup, which begets bliss. Shivakar helps achieve the liberation. Namoan, to pay obeisance. Triyog, activities of mind, speech, and body. Samarikar, with full concentrations.
Samarikar, matlab we gathered.
Samarikar.
I've gathered my mind, speech, and body, and I want to pay respect to this Vitrad Vigyanta. Okay. Continue. Passionless.
Passionless right knowledge, Vitrag Vigyan, omniscient knowledge in the upper, middle, and lower worlds, is the only thing worthwhile attaining, bestowing extreme happiness and leading to liberation. That is why, with utmost care, I, Daltram, the author, with my mind, speech, and body, bow down to this omniscient knowledge. Reasons for this treatise and desire of living being. Chopai Chand. त्रे त्रिभुवन में जीव अनंत सुख चाहे दुखते भयवन ताते दुखहारी सुखकार कहे सीख गुरु करुणाधार.
Okay, something I have
So,
to say here. Okay. I'm in Pipar. This is a small town, relatively speaking. There is some Sthanakvasi Guru Bhagwant here, and somebody's taking Diksha. And for last 4 days, 5 days, I've been going every morning to the pravachan. It was interesting. Whenever I hear something new, something different, I want to share. So, Bhagwan ki Vani mein, in the Om Dhvani, was the earth. Earth means all the details of everything came. But Gandhars are the ones who put that knowledge in sutra form. So you see how these two-liners? So Gandhars do that because the knowledge that comes from Tirthankar is so vast that to put it in even books now, in the old days it was only memory. People basically remembered everything that was said by Bhagwan. Then Gandhars made these couplets or sutras to be able to easily pass on to people. And then those got passed on until then the memories were getting faded and they started writing them. And then so you take the sutra and you can get correct meanings, right meanings of it. And there are a lot of times multiple meanings of each sutra. So just because we are reading these sutras, I thought I'll kind of that little information. And then these sutras also, they kept changing with time because originally they were written in some language, whatever the current language at the time, then they got translated into Sanskrit and then Hindi, and what type of Hindi, depending on the author, whichever area they were from, that type of Hindi, then local Hindi, then now English. So that those changes keep happening. Okay, continue.
J Tribhuvan Mein, in all the three parts of the universe,
Mhm.
Jeev, that is soul, Anant, that is numerical, infinite, Sukh.
Actually, let's not do those details. You guys can study that yourself if you need a meaning.
Mm.
Let's go to the
Yeah.
bhava. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll quickly explain. So they're saying anyone in the universe who wants to be happy and are afraid of the dukkha, of the unhappiness, tate dukkhari sukhakar, kahe sikh guru karunadhar. To give them the happiness formula, Guru is giving this seek. How? Because Guru is compassionate towards the jivas in the universe that are miserable, basically. Yeah, let's go scroll and read the meaning, Bhavarth, that the translation that's been given. Yeah.
In the three parts of the universe, there are infinite number of living beings. They are all afraid of sufferings and are looking for happiness. Therefore, with compassion, the learned perceptor gives the right advice to the mundane soul about how to destroy sufferings and to achieve happiness.
Mhm.
Reasons
So
for
now,
unhappiness of the yeah.
these couplets, you have to pay attention because uh, in the exam they can ask you like the last 1/4 of this and ask you the meaning, or I don't know, they could possibly, yeah, give you half of it and ask you to complete it and things like that.
Mhm.
So do pay attention to that. So, okay.
Reasons for unhappiness of the living beings in the transmigratory life and advice from the enlightened teacher. ताहि सुनो भविथिर मन आन जो चाहो अपनो कल्याण मोह महामद पियो अनादि भूली आपको भरमतवादी.
Mhm.
I think we can scroll down to the meaning itself, right?
Yeah, we'll just do the meanings, right? Yeah.
O Bhavya Jiva, the one who is capable of attaining salvation, if you desire the welfare of the self, then with utmost concentration, listen to the advice of the spiritual preceptor. Since time infinite, the person has been drinking the strong wine of delusion. As a result, he is wandering the universe in the miserable cycle of life and death, and has never realized his own true nature.
Hmm. So what they're saying is that the one who is capable of attaining salvation, we all are, if you desire welfare of the self. So they are Bhavya Jeev, they're addressing you as Bhavya Jeev, right? That if you desire the welfare of the self, then listen to this Chah Dhala with utmost concentration. Listen to the advice of the spiritual teacher. Since time infinite, the person has been drinking the strong wine of delusion, right? We have been Anadi since Anadi past. We have been in this delusion state, not associating always with whatever prapta paryaya we got instead of the true self. And as a result, we are wandering in this universe in the miserable cycle of life and death. And we never realized our own true nature. So basically, Chah Dhala again, same thing it's doing. First, making you realize what are the miseries of all four different gatis. So first, it makes you realize if you think, well, Dev Gati is good or some other Gati is good or I'm okay. So then understand the miseries which you're accepting if you don't um, accept the fact that you need to get back to your soul. So, okay. Let's go. So there is basically Chah Dhala means 6 chapters, and Dhal, what does Dhal mean? Anybody knows?
Shield.
Yeah, shield.
Right, the one that the warriors use, shield,
Yeah.
when they're playing with the sword to protect themselves. So they're saying that these 6 chapters will explain to you protection from the outward misery and how you can achieve it. Okay, let's scroll, Amiji.
The authenticity of the treatise. How do you pronounce this? Treatise, or how do you?
No,
Treatise.
I know treaties is that's the right word.
It is.
Yeah,
Treatise.
treaties
Okay.
only. Yeah.
Okay. The authenticity of the treatise and description of sufferings of the lowest form of life, Nigod.
Mm-hmm.
आसु ब्रह्मन की है बहु कथा पय कछु कही कहो कही मुनि जथा काल अनंत निगोद मझारी बीत्यो इक इंद्री तनधार.
Mm-hmm. So now
The
they're going to
ascetic,
explain the
yeah,
miseries of the Nigod. And Nigod is what? Who can give me examples of Nigod?
One sense being.
There are one sense, but sort of the lowest form of one sense, which is in the all the Jamaican, aloo
Yeah.
pyaj, and then of course lot more than that. We only relate to what we can see. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Many souls attached together, probably.
Yes,
That's also
many
Nigod.
souls in one body.
Hmm.
the ascetics in bygone literature have depicted many accounts of the suffering of life and death in the transmigratory cycle.
Mhm.
I, Pandit Daulat Ram, will also narrate the same, albeit a shorter version. The living being has passed an infinite time in the lowest form of life, Nigod, with only one sense organs.
Hmm. So what is that sense organ that we have in Nigod?
Sparsh, touch.
Touch sense
Touch.
only, right? With the sense of touch, you can still feel the heat and cold and whatever else. And this we already read all this that we are in Nigod forever until when? What are the two terms? Two types of Nigod? We studied that in this second chapter of
Eternal Nigod and
not eternal, it's ether.
Itar
Ether.
Nigod, Duran Duran.
Nitya Nigod.
Nitya Nigod, Itar Nigod. Yeah.
Right. So Nitya Nigod means what?
They never came out of
is
the.
eternal.
Right. So just like gold was in the mine with the dirt, right? It never came out of that dirt. So that is Nitya Nigod. We were in Nitya Nigod for infinite long time. And then by some kripa of, what is the story of how do we get out of the Nitya Nigod?
I think that's 608
Mhm.
Jews out of that.
Every 6 months, 608
Eight
jivas go to moksha, and the same number comes out of Nigod.
comes out of Nigod. Yeah, correct.
And fortunately, good for us that we got our turn, right? So we came
Yeah.
out of the Nigod. Now, if we are stupid enough to try to go back to Nigod, वो उसकी तो फिर महिमा कैसे गाएं हम कि कितने हम बेवकूफ हैं अगर वापस निगोद में जाने की तैयारी कर रहे हैं हमने तो so so now they're going to tell us the miseries of Nigod because this is the lowest form of life, shortest lifespan. What they're describing is that acharyas in the past, even though bad for us that we do not remember the pain of birth and death, but the birth process is very painful and so is the death process. Death तो कई लोग देखते हैं, old age, for a while they're in misery and sickness and whatever, the fear of death, and then the process of death, right? It's good that we don't remember any of that. But it is actually quite painful. It's a big suffering. And to have to be born and dead and born and dead continuously 18 times for us to measure 18 times in one breath. So imagine how much misery is there. They're continuously getting birth and dying, birth and dying. So they're continuously in that suffering of birth and death. So it's not a good place to be in, right? Okay, so let's continue. And also, you measure the misery by the fact that you have to be panchendriya, sangni panchendriya, to even get Samyak Darshan, to even get this knowledge, start of knowledge, that you even understand what all this is. So in relation to that also, this poor guy Nigod is, so, you know, what do you call, Nigod Jeev is so small and only, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, निगोद
Appears
में,
to be, yeah,
yeah.
not even control of itself. I mean,
Exactly. Oh, by the way, I realized that Viraj and what's it, Burad is missing, and I wonder if they forgot. Uh, so anyway, तो तो क्या हो रहा है कि निगोद के जीव, with only one sensed, they don't have the ability to even think about moksha, leave alone the effort, right? So in that context also, it's the most dukhi, most like suffering. Okay.
But do they even realize their own suffering? Because they're only one sense.
no, suffering will be there, no matter
Suffering,
what.
of course, will be there, right? Just like we realize,
But
right? Whenever there is suffering. Uh, but they don't have the opportunity to even think that there's a way out. So that is the big difference. It's like you are caught by some, what do you call those things? Kidnappers. And you don't even know that there's an opportunity to get out of that place. In the movies, you see somebody kidnapped and this guy smartly figured out a way out and they want to release themselves, right? The same way, the Jeev always wants to be free. So that what do you call, bhav is always there. You can realize that you are bound, somebody is holding you down types. So, and yes, the Nigod also wants to come out of that state. So, okay. Now let's continue. Amitji, scroll down to the next one, please. And if somebody else wants to start reading, that's okay too. So now this is the description of Nigod. So Nigod ke dukh bata rahe hain, what happens.
should I continue?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. The suffering of the lowest form of life and other phases. एक सांस में 8-10 बार जन्मो मरो भरो दुख भार निक्सी भूमि जल पावक भयो पवन प्रत्येक वनस्पति थयो. In this state of lowest form of life, the soul suffered immensely. In one breathing, he was born and reborn up to 18 times. The soul went through the cycles of birth and death 18 times. When the soul got the opportunity to come out of this, he was born into an earth body, water body, fire body, air body, and then as an individual plant body. All these migrations were in one sense life.
So you see how poor thing, first it was infinite, for infinite long time, it was in this Nigod form. Even when he comes out, it's not like in Nigod se nikal ke, I mean, you can potentially come to human life, normally not. It's very rare. Normally, you would be born as the one sensed, then two sensed like earthworms and all that. And then slowly, you'll progress, right? So we went through all this. So think about it. We were in Nigod, then we came as an earthworm or fire bodied, all those पांच उसको क्या बोलते हैं?
एकेंद्रिय जीव.
No. एकेंद्रिय के भी different forms है ना, earth bodied, fire bodied,
वनस्पति कायक, जीव कायक, अग्नि कायक.
all those 5
What
different.
could be example of fire body?
Fire itself.
Fire itself is a जीव. जैसे हमारी ह्यूमन बॉडी है, तो जिस जीव की बॉडी फायर है, वो फायर बॉडी जीव. That's why we believe that since fire also is a jeev, we should sparingly use it. So जो अवेयर चेन घर होते हैं उसमें अगर आपने गैस घर में जो भी लाइट लगा के और छोड़ दी, दे ट्राई टू से कि नहीं नहीं, डोंट मिस यूज इट बेसिकली, बिकॉज जो भी हो रहा है उसका पाप तो आपको लग ही रहा है.
So even
Fire
Vayuka,
has life.
air is the
In all
body of
this
the.
fire has indris.
Fire
Is that
has,
what you?
yes, fire has life in it. So, and so does air. So all these निगोद जीव्स और in the air निगोद भी घूम रहे हैं और air body जीव भी घूम रहे हैं. So obviously we're always attracting karmas as the till the time that we are doer of our whatever is going on with us, we are attracting all these karmas. Right? हम सांस भी ले रहे हैं तो air body जीव्स मर रहे हैं, यूज हो रहे हैं, कंज्यूम हो रहे हैं, जो भी हो रहा है. And then fire whenever we cook or use hot water, fire body jeev. फिर vanaspati, of course we eat plants, and water body we drink water. So all
Prithvikaya, we walk. Yeah.
prithvi kai also, yes. So because of this, Jainism is considered to be the ultimate uh, promoter of ahimsa, right? No other religion goes down to that sukshma level.
Even non-violence, that book in that we learn that. So having passions is also ahimsa, like detachment from the soul means paying attention outside is also ahimsa, it says. I think I remember Amitji saying saying I love you is ahimsa.
Yeah.
I think it even called Dev Pujan Hinsa.
I mean, yeah, everything is definitely, but it has to be slowly practiced, I think, to come out.
In subhuman life, there is rarity of the mobile life and there is suffering. दुर्लभ लही ज्यों चिंतामणि त्यों पर जाय लही त्रसतणि लट पिपील अली आदि शरीर धरि धरि मर्यो सही बहु पीर. Just as it is rare to find a precious jewel, it is equally as rare for the living beings to transgress from stationary life to one sense being to a mobile life of 2 to 4 sense beings such as worm, 2 sensed creatures ant, 3 sensed creatures or beetle, 4 sensed creature. Yet again, in all these states, the living being continues to endure sufferings. In the subhuman realm, there is suffering of the sentient with mind and non-sentient with no mind, 5 sense living beings. कबहु पंचेंद्रिय पशु भयो मन बिन निपट अज्ञानी थयो सिंहादिक सैनी है क्रूर निबल पशु हत खाए भूर. Every so often the soul took birth as a 5 sensed animal without the power of rational thoughts. In this case, such a soul would be ignorant about his true nature. Even if an opportunity arose to take birth as 5 sensed animal with the power of rational thinking,
I
it
think
may take birth.
I think Prabhaji has got disconnected. Looks like.
Oh, did you?
I think we can continue, correct? We can continue.
To take birth as 5 sensed animal with the power of rational thinking, it may take birth as a wild or cruel beast, such as a lion or a tiger, which kills and eat many weaker animals like deer and rabbits, etc. Do you want to wait for her to join, or?
I think we
No,
can
she said
continue, but
that,
if you want to discuss, we can discuss. Otherwise, if any doubts, we can discuss.
I
And
think
I would like to
Showing I
continue.
know.
these things.
Yeah, no problem. In subhuman realm, there is weakness and suffering. कबहु आप भयो बलहीन, सबलनि करी खायो अति दीन, छेदन भेदन भूख पियास, भार वहन हिम आतप त्रास. Occasionally, this living being was born as a weak animal, such as a deer, rabbit, etc., that might be eaten by a stronger animal. In this form of life, the living beings had to face many sufferings due to piercing, cutting, hunger, thirst, carrying loads, cold and heat, etc. Excessive suffering of the subhuman life and the reason for acquiring infernal, that is hell life. बद बंधन आदिक दुख घने, कोटि जीवते जात न भने, अति संकलेश भावते मरो, घोर शुभ्र सागर पे परो. What is that?
Prabhuji is calling me. Just a
Okay.
second.
Why don't you take call then?
Yeah, let me go mute here.
In this picture, it talks about being butchered and bound. I mean, the one suffering goes to the hell here. I mean, one who created the suffering, they don't talk about it. I mean, in a sense, like it says, like, okay, if you're tortured and if you're suffered a lot, then definitely you'll go to hell. But what happened to the who made it suffer is also go to hell maybe. But this one, it talks about, okay, once we suffer ourselves, like for whatever the reason. So,
Which one? The ninth one?
yeah, the ninth one, eighth one,
Yes, that's 8, I think we were on, right? No?
eighth, yeah. Yeah, so we can
Yeah,
can
it just says,
continue.
right,
You can continue it. You can finish chapter
Yeah, we
1.
can scroll down to stanza 8.
Yeah.
8?
Yeah.
Eight,
the meaning
yeah,
of it.
yeah. That's the,
Yeah, Prabhuji was just saying that, yeah, we can discuss. I told that we are going ahead, right? So she said that, yeah, you can, right? If you want to
Okay.
continue,
yeah.
continue. But at the end, somebody should say Jinwani Stuti, and then we exit the
Yeah.
class.
Okay.
Hope somebody knows.
Yeah, I can say that.
Okay, great. As an animal, the soul faces being butchered and bound. The suffering is so intense that it cannot be narrated at millions of tongues. Thus, it dies under extreme torture and falls into the terrible infernal hell realm. So, I agree. But what is the point? I mean, the one who is giving the suffering should go to hell, or the person or the animal suffering should go to hell?
Yeah, I think at least in this stanza it talks about the one who suffered. I'm sure the one who torturing also would go to hell. I mean, it doesn't talk about them, but it should.
Correct. It should be. Both should be, but yeah, because
Yeah,
the
both.
reference is that particular animal, right? The weak animal.
Yeah. I thought if they're suffering, then unke karm kat gaye, but
Yeah.
it will never go to
No,
hell.
I think we learned about this the yoga and passions, correct? Like karma bandha. So like the what kind of passion? So they say like artha dhyana. When you like suffer yourself, then you will born as an animal. And if you find a torture, if you pleasure in torturing others, it is called Raudra Dhyana. I mean, that you go to hell. So I think it's all the combination of so many things, definitely. So
Yeah.
I think we learned about this, the Moiniya karma, correct? Sata Vedana, Asata Vedana. It brings a situation but based on our moha karma, what kind of passions we are. So are you able to handle the situations in the neutral state? Then you will not bind karma. But suffering, if you are like, okay, it's a bad thing, and then you cry, then there also the passions will be there. So you bind karma.
You bind
So
karma. Correct.
yeah. So the
And
suffering
because
is not like spending karma. I mean, yeah, the karma udaya happened, but what emotions we have, bhava we have, that also binds karma. Yeah.
So Bhava
here
during all
that
the
weak,
time,
Yeah.
pleasure and pain both really matter actually
Yes.
in terms of creating the bondage that you're trying to,
Yeah.
which gets
Correct.
created. Okay.
Yeah. So it talks.
so here,
It's like two-way path. It's yeah.
Here that weak animal, right? Because he's not a Gyani Jiva, he does not understand. Right,
Yeah.
then he will, under this extreme torture, which is nothing but his previous karma, right? His previous pap karma
Yeah.
ka uday ki wajah se the extreme torture is coming. And
Yeah.
the weak animal will also not react properly, right? So he will have passions,
No, I
right?
think it's
Then more,
moha, correct? Moha raga dvesha. Moha means
more
delusion. Delusion that I am the body. It is there. It's no
correct.
sense of any discrimination, correct? Even so, I mean, the animals also like Sangi Panchendriya means the sentient animals, but it's all based on in the previous life if they have acquired this knowledge or not. Some are able to discriminate and then become neutral, and most of the like asangi, like without mind, that definitely there is no discrimination at all. So the complete delusion,
Correct.
complete identification with the body. So the suffering is part of the life, and it go through the cycle of bhava karma, dravya karma, nama karma. So it will
Correct.
keep.
Yeah, here they have
So
not
probably,
mentioned it, but that's what they
It
mean to
says,
say.
it says
Yeah.
अति संक्लेश भावते मरियो. That means बहुत बुरे परिणामों के साथ मरण होता है. इसकी वजह से the jeev goes to hell.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think Hindi
English
has
translation does not say that. It
Yeah,
is
Sankesh,
lacking there, but the Hindi translation does
yeah,
mention that
yeah.
Ati
Ati
Sanklesh
Sanklesh
Bhava.
Bhava. Yeah, that's very the point, correct? It dies with
Yeah.
that.
Also have Ati Sanklash Bhav sometimes.
Mm.
So where did you guys reach already?
Stanza 8.
10th,
10th,
10th, 10th,
9,
10th.
9,
Oh my, you're going
9.
very fast.
No, we are in 10th, right?
Now we are in
No,
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 8.
10th
stanza
will
8,
start.
stanza 8.
10th will start. We are on 9th stanza.
So we went from
Yeah, yeah.
Nigur to what all did you finish?
We
So
went
right now,
to
weak animal, right? So you're saying that if there is a weak animal, right, then he would be butchered and bound and killed. The
And
suffering would be so
are
intense.
something we can relate to, right? We've already seen these in our lifetime, right?
yeah.
How animals are treated in different places. It's just that, so this we are studying to know I am there. I was this animal. And I'm fortunate enough to be out of that misery at least. So, it's easy to read and think, oh, those animals. No, put yourself in that place. That was me. मैं यहाँ गया, मैं वहां गया, मैंने इतना सफरिंग हुआ, मुझे लोगों ने पीटा, मारा और सब बांधा. And then you get that real feel when you think that is me, that was me. So, same thing, put yourself in that planet life. मैं वो भिंडी लौकी वो सब था और मुझे लोगों ने आराम से चॉप करके खाया. Think, how it makes you feel different when you think that was me. So, well, abhi chal raha hai, so we can continue. I don't know what made it go into that connecting mode. So, chalo, let's.
Yeah, stanza 9.
Do we have more Shah's reading,
Yeah.
or should I continue?
Somebody else wants to read? Nidhi ji, you read now. Taha bhumi par sat dukh aisi.
The sufferings in the infernal hell life and the state of the river. तहाँ भूमि पर सत दुख ऐसो बिच्छू सहस दसत तन तिसो तहाँ राधि श्रोणित वाहिनी क्रमिकुल कलित देह दाहिनी. In the infernal realm, just merely touching the ground causes pain likened to the sting of thousands of scorpions. The flow of the river Vitarni is full of pus and blood, along with swamps of worms, and all these cause severe burning sensation to the body.
So these are all very, very, they're basically giving you an idea of what all we have been through. We have been through Ekendriya, Bendriya, even when we were Panchendriya Prani, still we had so much sufferings, right? And then this is our own transmigration that is happening here, right? We were born as a lion, we were born as a bichu, we were born as a bird, titli. I mean, actually pay attention to some of the pictures that they've put in there also. And then we were there as a tree where we were standing in rain and strong sun, and even though we could suffer the pain, but we could not express. We couldn't even help ourselves. So imagine that ultimately it comes down to restraints, right? No freedom of expression, no freedom of even protection from anything. And we've all gone through all that. And then Narak may be, the reason they explain all this is to think that, so Narak and Tiryansh are the unfavorable, right? So nobody wants to go to Narak because they read all this, that there is so much extreme heat, extreme cold, even the river is so, all the leaves are like sharp swords. So, I mean, in our human life, we cannot even experience such things here. So all these extreme pain we have gone through. And the lifespan is so long in Narak. So, Daulat Ramji is making us feel that you have gone through so much, and now it's about time you start thinking of coming out of this death and birth. I read lot more. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I didn't realize that these are only translations of the couplets, that they're not giving details, or are they?
Ma'am, there
Okay,
are some parts that have not been translated also. Like in the earlier para, Ati
yeah.
Sanklesh Bhav Se Maryo was not translated at all.
Oh, really? Interesting.
That is why
Can we make a note of
So
it? I think
it is
we
there.
do.
Oh yeah. It is a Ati Sanklesh Bhav. Yeah, it's not there.
nahi,
It's not
it is
translated.
not in the translation, but it is in the para, the
Yeah.
couplet.
Right.
And the Hindi translation also has it. I am having the Hindi book.
Much longer than, which number are we on? 10? Did we just read 10?
It's
We
9.
just read 9th.
9th. Okay, I'll read what is in Hindi and see if it matches. ओके भावार्थ, इस जीव ने तिर्यंच गति में मारा जाना, बंधना आदि अनेक दुख सहन किए, जो करोड़ों जीवों से भी नहीं कहे जा सकते, और अंत में इतने बुरे परिणामों, आर्त ध्यान, ये जो अति संक्लेश का यहाँ ट्रांसलेशन है, से मरा कि जिसे बड़ी कठिनता से पार किया जा सके, ऐसे समुद्र समान घोर नरक में जा पहुंचा. So what they're saying is कि when you're in the Tiryanch gati, and this can happen even in Manushya gati. Let's say we are going through some major suffering because of our previous karmas. Now, instead of staying sage and bearing it, knowing that it's my own karmas and all that, we are continuously arthadhyan. Arthadhyan matlab, why this is happening to me? Oh, I'm suffering because of so and so didn't do this for me. All that is called Ati Sanklesh Parinam, Arthadhyan, that we go through. And this, at least in our lifetime, we have a way out in the sense that we are studying, we are able to understand that these kind of parinam give very strong karmas, right? In animal life, they don't have that. So unko continuously they are in very bad bhav. Sanklesh means very तीव्र negative भाव. तो वो कंटिन्यूस आर्त ध्यान के परिणामों रहते हैं, उससे उनको नरक का भाव मिल जाता है. सो थिंक देयर वाज ऑलरेडी सो मच मिजरी ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट, इन एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ देयर आर्त ध्यान दे गेट नरक का जन्म, वेयर देयर इज इवन मोर मिजरी. And that is why they say कि even in this life, let's say you have, I mean, lot of us in old when as you get older, you may get chronic diseases, you may get whatever, some kind of suffering. And that is the time where if you have the Shastra knowledge, your parinam will be relatively milder. And if you don't, then you're always in this Sanklesh Parinam mode, where you are constantly thinking of, oh, there is so much suffering, oh, there is so much pain, oh, there is this, oh, that. And then that becomes nimit in getting even a worse bhav than where you are today. Or even if you got a human life, again get a life of suffering. So something to note for yourself, why Artha Dhyan is so bad for you. And that is why it is important that even in this life, when we are going through unfavorable circumstances or diseases or whatever the case may be, monetary loss, I mean, there are so many life events that happen to all of us, negative and as well as positive. So in those negative life events, doing Artha Dhyan is only inviting bad bhav, more suffering in the future. सो पहले तो उसने एनिमल लाइफ में इतने दुख सहन किए, फिर उसके अर्थ ध्यान के फल में और दुखी जीवन उसको मिला, अब नरक का भाव मिल गया. वेयर इट एटलीस्ट इन द काउ एंड शेर की पर्याय में तो लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ इयर्स थे ना, 15-20, वट एवर देयर लाइफ स्पैन इज. बट नाउ इन नरक दे आर गोइंग टू बी देयर फॉर वेरी वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम एंड सफर सो मच. So each of these, there is a lesson for us also to gain. So again, this Dhala is going to be very meaningful when we think that all of these gati, all of these are, it is me. It is me who has gone through all this. Okay, let's continue reading. So if there is something missing, Amit ji, can we make a note? I think what I'm going to do is maybe we will take this PDF and just add wherever there is not enough description.
No,
Or if,
so overall, the translation is not missing. They've translated that way. If you see here, Ati Sanklesh Bhav, they have called it as intense mental torture. So if you see here, they have said, thus it dies under extreme torture. So the
no,
translation is not up to the mark. They have translated, but it's not up to the mark.
torture is not same thing as Sanklesh Bhav though.
Yeah, so that's why the translation is not proper. They've
But-
translated, but
Can you please make a note of it? That is a wrong
sure.
translation.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Sanklesh Bhav is not mental torture. It's intense negative contemplation. That's a wrong translation actually.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
so
noted.
that. Yeah. Yep. Make a note and maybe we'll take this whole PDF and fix it and send it to me on my personal also. I'll confirm it with Kirit Bhai also that he agrees with that.
Sure.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's bhav. something physically done to you. Bhav is your own. So there's a difference.
Yes. So stanza 9 we did. Now we are stanza 10.
Yeah, go ahead.
मैम इसमें I have read the English. Do I read the Hindi translation? Hindi.
Yeah, we have enough
No,
time,
you did not.
both Hindi and English if you want to. It's fine. So go ahead. For the 10th one, we'll do that. We'll read Hindi and English both.
उन नरकों की भूमि का स्पर्श मात्र करने से नारकियों को इतनी वेदना होती है कि हजारों बिच्छू एक साथ डंक मारे तब भी उतनी वेदना ना हो, तथा उस नरक में रक्त, मवाद और छोटे छोटे कीड़ों से भरी हुई, शरीर में दाह उत्पन्न करने वाली एक वैतरणी नदी है, जिसमें शांति लाभ की इच्छा से नारकी जीव कूदते हैं, किंतु वहां तो उनकी पीड़ा अधिक भयंकर हो जाती है। जीवों को दुख होने का मूल कारण तो उनकी शरीर के साथ ममता तथा एकत्व बुद्धि ही है। धरती का स्पर्श आदि तो निमित्त कारण है।
So that is the main lesson, right? So the difference between Shrenik Raja in Narak and any mundane soul in Narak is any mundane soul, both are going through the same thing. Even Shrenik Raja ka jeev bhi is going through this, that they're getting tortured and then they fall into this river, which is giving even more pain. But the difference is that he doesn't associate himself with this physical body, which is experiencing the pain. He associates himself with this pure soul. So even though he's going through all this, he's still experiencing calm and happiness and not the pain. Because the Shuddha Atma is in the bliss form. So that is the lesson learned कि अगर हमने भी suppose कर्म तो बांध दिए, अभी at least in the current time we are only learning, let's say even in this life. In the past we did some तीव्र संक्लेश परिणाम, समझ लो नरक बंद भी गया, तो भी we learned the art of associating myself with me, the soul, then I may still not be bothered with whatever the circumstances come to me in Narak. So that is the lesson to be taken. That कारण मूल कारण क्या है ये सारे दुखों का? बोलो, we just read.
शरीर के साथ एकत्व बुद्धि।
अपने प्राप्त पर्याय के साथ एकत्व बुद्धि. That is the major default or problem we have.
नेक्स्ट।
बाकी सब तो निमित्त है, तो हम लोग तो निमित्तों को ही दोष दे दे के दुखी होते रहते हैं.
पेन्स ऑफ हीट एंड कोल्ड इन द इन्फर्नल लाइफ। नरकों के सेमल वृक्ष और सर्दी गर्मी के दुख। सेव तरु दल जुत असी पत्र, असी ज्यो देह विदारे तत्र, मेरु प्रमाण लोह गली जाए, ऐसी शीत उष्णता थाए।
ये अभी भी नरकों
In the infernal realm, there are leaves of the savor trees that have sharp edges like a sword. When they fall on the inhabitants, they pierce through the body. The climate is so intensely hot that a lump of iron as big as Mount Meru can melt just like the wax of the candle. And it is also so cold that the same lump of iron melts away as if the salt into the water. Ma'am, cold में तो it should solidify, no?
Can you read the Hindi translation?
Yeah. उन नरकों में अनेक सेमल के वृक्ष हैं जिनके पत्ते तलवार की धार के समान तीक्ष्ण होते हैं। जब दुखी नार की छाया मिलने की आशा लेकर उस वृक्ष के नीचे जाता है, तब उस वृक्ष के पत्ते गिरकर उसके शरीर को चीर देते हैं। उन नरकों में इतनी गर्मी होती है कि 1 लाख योजन ऊंचे सुमेरु पर्वत के बराबर लोह का पिंड भी पिघल जाता है तथा इतनी ठंड पड़ती है कि सुमेरु के समान लोहे का गोला भी गल जाता है। जिस प्रकार
गल
लोह,
जाता ही लिख
हाँ गल जाता ही लिखा है।
ठंड से लोहा क्यों गल जाएगा?
कि लाइक गर्मी में तो समझ में आया कि शीत।
इसमें लिखा हुआ है मैम यहाँ पे, ये 1 और 2 करके ना फुटनोट्स हैं, तो गल जाने के लिए लिखा है, जिस प्रकार ठंड और बरसात में नमक गल जाता है, पानी बन जाता है, उसी प्रकार सुमेरु के बराबर लोहे का गोला ठंडे बिल में फेंका जाए तो बीच में ही गलने लगता है। पहले, दूसरे और तीसरे चौथे नरक की भूमि गर्म है, पांचवें नरक में ऊपर की भूमि गर्म तथा नीचे तीसरा भाग ठंडा है, छठे तथा सातवें नरक की भूमि ठंडी है। ऐसे फुटनोट्स में लिखा है।
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, but I didn't know. Maybe that is also a science truth that extreme cold में भी गल जाता होगा लोहा. I wasn't aware.
छंद में क्या लिखा है? छंद में भी ऐसे ही लिखा है।
Uh, अरे, did you say something?
मेल्ट गली जाए।
So
कि मैं
anyway,
हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन में और भी है मैम।
हाँ बताइए।
जिस प्रकार लोक में कहा जाता है कि ठंड के मारे हाथ अकड़ गए, हिम गिरने से वृक्ष या अनाज जल गया आदि, यानी अति प्रचंड ठंड के कारण लोहे में चिकनाहट कम हो जाने से उसका स्कंद बिखर जाता है।
Okay, so maybe then that actually happens. कि लोहा सॉलिड तो है, हो गया, but it loses its greasiness and it maybe shatters. ऐसा हो सकता है maybe ना,
क्रम्बल हो सकता है पर पिघलेगा थोड़ी।
या पिघलेगा नहीं जैसे कि हीट में पिघलेगा, पर यहाँ
कैन
shattering
क्रम्बल,
कि उसका स्कंद,
टच,
which is possible, which is more acceptable. क्योंकि it's like even प्लास्टिक का डब्बा आप रख दो फ्रीजर में, ऐसे गिराओगे तो नहीं शैटर होगा, पर फ्रीजर में से जब निकालोगे और अगर गिर गया इट शैटर्स. So it's kind of like that. Okay, that makes sense. So, again, ultimately the point is that it is extreme cold and extreme heat. तो उसके एक और here we get so used to living in this controlled temperatures and all these things कि मेरे को realize होता है that when I'm in India, well, fortunately I've been in places with moderate temperatures. पर मैं दिल्ली में थी 2-3 दिन, तो इतनी नहीं थी, अभी तो टेम्परेचर्स अच्छे चल रहे हैं, बट दे सेड कि दिल्ली में तो इतनी ज्यादा ठंडी पड़ती है और इतनी, एंड लाइक आई वाज लाइक मेरे से तो वो इतनी टॉलरेट ही नहीं होगी, बिकॉज सेंट्रल हीट नहीं है एंड द टेम्परेचर्स गो डाउन टू 40s, राइट? तो देन दे से कि जब आप ऐसे लगता है आपको कि आप टॉलरेट नहीं कर सकते हो, तो सोचो कि अगर आप नरक में पहुंच गए तो क्या होगा आपकी टॉलरेंस का, कि इतनी एक्सट्रीम हीट और कितनी एक्सट्रीम कोल्ड एक्सपीरियंस करनी पड़ेगी. तो इसलिए अभी भी जब करना पड़े तो अपने शरीर को सॉर्ट ऑफ डोंट बी सो पर्टिकुलर एंड डोंट बी सो काइंड ऑफ की सहजता से ले लो, सहन करने की आदत रखो टाइप्स. So, which I admire in people in Rajasthan and Delhi, they can tolerate a lot more heat and cold than me. So,
Ma'am,
so
there is a noise, there is background noise at my end. Somebody else
I
can read.
realize that. तो कोई और पढ़ लो. ठीक है. बाहुबली जी, you can continue reading if you want. So,
The 11th stanza.
yeah, 11th, yeah. नहीं 11th अभी किया ना हमने. Yeah, we just did
10th किया.
12. You're on 12 now.
नहीं 11th पे.
Okay. Okay.
You're on mute, Bahubali. You're on mute.
Paradaya ke khand, is that
Okay.
11 in this? Yeah, that is
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Okay, sorry. I'll read. I was on mute.
Yeah, in the
In the
Hindi book,
infernal.
12th, I don't know why. Is that what you're also finding, Nidhi ji?
Yes, ma'am. In the English book, it is 11 stanza, but in the Hindi book, it is 12 stanza.
How did that happen? Is there
Also,
a
I think that Mangalacharan is not included as a stanza. I think so in English.
maybe that's what it is then? Yeah. Yeah, in this one, Mangalacharan is stanza 1 in the Hindi book.
yes.
That's probably why.
That's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay. In the infernal life, presence of other infernal living beings, Asura Kumar, a kind of lower quality heavenly beings, and the suffering of thirst. Til til karai, देह के खंड असुर असुर बिड़ावें दृष्ट प्रचंड सिंधु नीर तई प्यास न जाए तो पन एक बूंद न लहाए. Inhabitants of the infernal life fight and chop the bodies of each other into small pieces. They are incited to fight amongst themselves by wicked and fierce celestial beings known as Asura Kumar. They have extreme thirst, which cannot be quenched by the water of an entire ocean. Despite this, they do not get even one drop of water to drink. Okay.
So you see how it's a big suffering again. I mean, we can relate to this life how bad it could be. But anybody else has Hindi book open? Otherwise, I can read the Hindi version.
I can read, I can open also. Yes.
Fine.
Okay, let me open.
Yeah, otherwise, I have the book in front of me. I can do that.
Yes,
तो उन नरकों में नारकी एक दूसरे को
Yeah.
दुख, तो वहां क्या है, it goes with the gati. In narak, you're always in this dvesh bhav, right? So you find animosity from anybody in the past that you've had, and they are also in the narak. And now you are remembering, because वो अवधि ज्ञान, remember we read कि नरक में अवधि ज्ञान होता है. So they can remember कि past में इसने ये मेरे साथ किया था या क्या हुआ था, and वो चीजों को ले लेके they are fighting with each other. Or even if they don't think, somebody else will remind them, oh, see, this person is your enemy because he did this to you. तो अर्थात कुत्तों की भांति हमेशा आपस में लड़ते रहते हैं. वे एक दूसरे के शरीर के टुकड़े टुकड़े कर डालते हैं, तथापि उनके शरीर बारंबार पारे की भांति बिखर कर फिर जुड़ जाते हैं. So even though they feel the pain of getting chopped, but it's not like at least in the human life, if you get chopped, you're done, you're dead and all that. But there you get chopped and then the body is like mercury, which keeps coming back together. वे एक दूसरे के शरीर के टुकड़े टुकड़े, तथापि उनके शरीर पारे की तरह जुड़ जाते हैं. संक्लिष्ट परिणाम वाले अंबरीश आदि जाति के असुर कुमार देव. So there are within Narak also, there are that kind of dev who have very bad intentions and bad bhav, जो कि दूसरे तथा तीसरे नरक तक जाकर वहां की तीव्र यातनाओं में पड़े हुए नारकियों को अपने अवधि ज्ञान के द्वारा परस्पर बैर बतलाकर अथवा क्रूरता और कुतूहल से आपस में लड़ाते हैं और स्वयं आनंदित होते हैं. तीव्र यातनाओं में पड़े हुए नारकियों को अपने अवधि ज्ञान के द्वारा परस्पर बैर बतलाकर अथवा लड़ाते हैं और स्वयं आनंदित होते हैं. उन नारकी जीवों को इतनी महान प्यास लगती है कि मिल जाए तो पूरे महासागर का जल भी पी जाए, तथापि तृष्णा शांत न हो, किंतु पीने के लिए जल की एक बूंद भी नहीं मिलती. तो सोचो कि जो लड़ाते हैं उनके तो कर्मों का क्या ही कहना, कि वो खुद तो नरक में है ही, और वो इतने उनके परिणाम संक्लेश, तीव्र संक्लेश हैं, कि वो अपने अवधि ज्ञान से दूसरों के रिश्तेदारों की एनिमोसिटी निकाल निकाल के आपस में लड़वाते हैं. And all this we should try to relate with either our own bhav, what we go through, or when we observe other people, going through that kind of bhav and all that. So, something to think about that. And then, I mean, अभी सोचो तुम कहीं ऐसी जगह पर हो या आपने कोई ऑयली फूड खा लिया हो, और कितनी ज्यादा हमें प्यास लगती है, that we feel like we need water right away. And that kind of feeling for such a long time, that you're thirsty and not being able to get water. So they're trying to make you realize that none of these gatis are worth being in. So,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next one.
Okay, the 12th one, 12th line. Okay, infernal living beings, hunger and life expectancy, the beginning of human life after the end of infernal life. तीन लोक खाओ, उन जू खाए, मिठाई न भूख, कणा न लहाय, ये दुख बहु सागर लव सहाय, कर्म जोगते नरभव लहाय. Even if infernal living beings were given entire food stocks of the three worlds of the universe, their hunger would not be satisfied, and yet they receive not a grain to eat. Here in this life, the soul has suffered natural and other intense sufferings for very long periods of time. At the end of the infernal life, by fruition of auspicious karma, the soul is born as a human being. Okay, I'll read the Hindi one. Yeah.
Go ahead.
नरकों में इतनी तीव्र भूख लगती है कि यदि खाने को मिल जाए तो तीनों लोग का अनाज एक साथ खा जाए, तथापि क्षुधा शांत न हो, परंतु वहां खाने के लिए उन
एक दाना भी
अन्न का दान भी नहीं मिलता. नरकों में यह जीव ऐसे अपार दुख दीर्घ काल अर्थात कम से कम 10,000 वर्ष और अधिक से अधिक 33 सागरोपम काल तक भोगता है. किसी महान स्वकर्म के उदय से यह जीव मनुष्य गति प्राप्त करता है.
तो क्या बताया कि नरकों में इतनी तो भूख लगती है पर नो सेटिस्फैक्शन, एंड देन द मिनिमम एज स्पैन इज 10,000 years. So how much is Shrenik Raja's time span in Narak? He went to Narak in Mahavir Swami's Kal. Actually, you'll read about all this in Kal Chakra, how much each.
It's already 2000 plus years.
Right. And we still got, what is it? Is it
20, I think 40, I mean 60, 62 plus.
Right.
62,000.
Plus 6 Tara is the same time.
So
And then
22 is 1/5 and 22,000 years is the fifth, 22,000 years is the sixth. Is it 22 or
I
40?
have to reconfirm right now. It's not in my memory. I used to know it.
Yeah.
And then, so anyway, so basically, Shrenik Raja's Jeev is also in the Narak more than 10,000 years, obviously, not the minimum Kal. But because of his karmas and his repentance and all that, he got moved from 7th to 1st Narak. Remember, we studied the time can change. I mean, within the same, he could not change his gati. ऐसा नहीं था कि नरक से मनुष्य में आ गया कोई और, नरक तो रहा, but he could change how long he will be there or which narak. So from 7th to 1st narak he came. So he's in the Pehla narak, and then the Kal is more than 10,000. It's not the minimum. So he will not be taking birth till the 4th ara comes of the next time cycle, which will be at least I don't know, more than 84,000 years or more like that, something like that.
No, the fourth there is again, it is 4 plus 3, the Sagarupam, correct? Like fourth of the,
But he will be the first Tirthankar. So he'll be
yeah,
in
yeah, but the the next one comes the first or sixth. I mean, I don't know. I mean, after sixth Apkarshana.
Right, right. So sixth is mirror image of the sixth here, which is first,
Okay.
and then second is mirror image of the fifth,
Yeah.
and then third is mirror image of the fourth here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I think
Oh yeah, they okay. They're also like it is equivalent of this one, the first, second, third, and
right
fourth.
there
Yeah.
it is increasingly better times. Here it is decreasingly worse times. That's the way it
Yeah.
goes.
Okay.
So,
Okay. The 13th stanza.
right.
The sufferings of the human life during pregnancy and at childbirth. Janani udar vaisau navamas anga sakuch thai pai trasa निकसत जो दुख पाए घोर तिनको कहन न आवे और.
Mhm.
In the human form of life, the living being was confined for 9 months in the womb of the mother, wherein, on account
Mhm.
of bodily contractions, it had to suffer pains. The intense pain he had to suffer at the time of taking birth is beyond narration.
Mhm.
So let me
So
read.
we don't remember, obviously. We went through birth process, but we do not remember the pains.
Yeah, yeah.
And that they are saying that this whole process of taking birth is also so painful. So obviously the Manushya Gati compared to other ones have less painful situations than Tiryanch and Narki, but obviously more in than Devta, because Devta they don't even have to go through that birth
Mm.
process, right? They just get
Yeah,
utpan as a young person.
yeah.
So basically they're saying that the Manushya Gati also, its dukh start right from the childbirth time. And that is not even explainable. And fortunately, the baby does not remember the pain. And I guess that must be one of the reasons why they cry, I wonder. There is so much pain. So
Read Hindi, Pavarth, or
I can read, yeah, that's fine. That is
okay.
all.
मनुष्य गति में यह जीव 9 महीने तक माता के पेट में रहा। वहाँ शरीर को सिकोड़ कर रहने से तीव्र वेदना सहन की। जन्म के समय माता के गर्भ से बाहर निकलते हुए हुए भी इस जीव ने जो दुख सहन किया, उन दुखों का वर्णन बहुत काल तक करते रहे तो भी पूर्ण नहीं किया जा सकता। कभी कभी तो जन्म के समय तीव्र वेदना के कारण माता अथवा पुत्र का अथवा दोनों का मरण भी हो जाता है।
Hmm. But, slightly different than mine, but that's okay. Maybe mine is an older version.
Okay.
Mine is 2005 version, I think. It's okay. It's
Alright.
basic. Yeah. Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll end the class.
Yeah. The sufferings of human beings in childhood, youth, and old age.
Mhm.
बालपने में ज्ञान न लाओ न लगे, तरण समय धरणी रति रगा, अर्धमृतक सम बुड़पनो कैसे रूप लखे आपनाओ.
Mm.
During childhood, one did not acquire true knowledge. In youth, one remained engrossed in sensual pleasures with the spouse. In old age, one is almost half dead. How can then one obtain a chance for the realization of one's own true nature? Okay,
So
so
if you do not see, people say कि ओ धर्म तो हम बाद में करने की चीज है.
Yeah.
That is why acharyas say कि तो no, even the small children should go to Pathshala and start learning this, right?
Yeah.
And at age, this is something to learn and imbibe.
Yeah.
And which again, if nothing else, at least आपके परिणाम संक्लेश नहीं होंगे. आपको जितनी जितनी ये धर्म की चीजें समझोगे. Or again, if we see people who are into the rituals and yet very, again, that is sort of बाहर से जो दिखता है. नंबर वन, इट्स नॉट अ रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ इंटरनली उनकी कैसी समझ है, राइट? बाहर से ऐसा दिख सकता है कि वो जीव थोड़ा क्रोधी है, लड़ता है, yet inside he may understand the truth. And on the other hand, as you understand, learn these things, your life can also become slightly more calmer. So we are trying to understand and learn Vastu Swarup the way it is. So it's not that just because a person is looking calm, he's good inside, and vice versa. Just because he's looking more krodhi or in action all the time doesn't mean he doesn't understand.
I'll read the Hindi one. It's like Prabhaji's.
This kind of feeling that he's attached to it, right? He can do his duty and be away, still alipt from it. So, okay. You want to read the Hindi and then we finish?
Yeah. Yeah. मनुष्य गति में यह जीव बाल्यावस्था में अल्प बुद्धि वाला होने से विशेष ज्ञान प्राप्त नहीं कर पाया.
Sharing Amit ji.
यवनावस्था में बुद्धिमान तो हुआ, किंतु स्त्री के मोह अर्थात विषय भोगों में ही मस्त हो गया. और वृद्धावस्था में इंद्रियों की शक्ति ही अत्यंत कम हो गई, अथवा ऐसा कोई रोग लग गया जिससे अधमरा अधमरा जैसा होकर पड़ा रहा या मरण पर्यंत जा पहुंचा. इस प्रकार यह जीव मनुष्य गति की तीनों अवस्थाओं में निज आत्म स्वरूप का दर्शन अर्थात पहचान नहीं कर सका.
Okay, very good. Who was sharing this? They can stop sharing.
Amit
Yeah,
ji.
yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So we will then now let's see here. So we actually, though, if you notice, even though to us it seems pretty straightforward when we read these explanations are not so difficult to understand, but there are pandits who give hours and hours of pravachan on these ek dhal pe bhi. So one thing we can do is for next class is, because we are studying Manushya Jivan, each of you bring examples of what we just read from your own life. Because it's all about experimenting with yourself and realizing that it's me who has gone through all these. So चलो past तिरियंश हम भूल गए, नरक में थे तो भूल गए, एकेंद्रिय सब भूल गए, अभी मनुष्य जन्म में तो है ना हम. So we'll do that as a little exercise next class.
Sure. Yes.
And post that in the group also, Amit, that everybody needs to do that. Those who are not here can listen to the recording and then bring examples. So that way, when we actually think and bring our own experiences of the current life, that gives us that sense, that feeling, that how it is. So, okay. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्मस्वरूप, निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है, वंदना शत बार है। जय जिनेन्द्र सभी को।